Hi, everyone. Welcome in to another Talks. And tonight we have our topic on empowered empaths, navigating sensitivity as a strength, not a weakness. Hi, guys. My name is Uma. I am the published author of The Awakened Life, the Amazon bestselling author of Chronicles of a Spirit Walker, a soul alignment coach, and the owner of the Lotus and the Light Metaphysical Center. I love doing these Wednesday night talks. And I hope for some of you that are return people, you enjoy listening to my talks and that you find some sort of help, some relief, something from them. We are streaming live to YouTube and to TikTok. So if you are here and you want to say hello, you're more than welcome to say hello. Let me greet you. And thank you for being here. Now, hi, Jeanette. It's always nice when you're not talking to yourself, right, Jeanette? It's like, yeah, there's people listening. I can see that there's people here. They're listening, but sometimes people are shy. So I wanted to talk about Talks, the empowered empaths tonight, because I feel like a lot of us can relate to this about being an empath, right? Hi, Holly. So I feel like we can definitely relate in terms of understanding that we're empaths, understanding that we're different, and understanding that we have our own specific role in the world. Hi, Belinda. Good evening, everyone. TikTok is very chatty, and I love this. I love this. So I wanted to choose. I chose this talk because my personal story about being an empath, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys can relate to. And basically, it's that being an empath made me feel different than other people. I was way more emotional, I found, than the people around me. And I felt a lot of shame about my emotions. I don't know if any of you guys can relate. I'm pretty sure you guys are all put together. But for me, I struggled, you know? And I got diagnosed, right? They said that I was bipolar and manic and, and all of this stuff. But I wasn't. I wasn't any of those things. And I was believing the Western medicine community for a long time until they said they wanted to put me on prescriptions. And I said, this is not for me, right? Now I'm sharing my own personal experience. I was like, this is not for me. So I started to look into, like, why am I the way that I am? Why am I so emotional? Why do I get so bothered by things? What is this about? And then I came across the term empaths, as I'm sure a lot of you have, right? Thank you, Ashley. And it just resonated so much for me. And then I started meeting other empaths and seeing them struggle as well. And that's when I realized, I was like, we are a gift to the universe. We are a gift to the world. We are a gift to the community. And so many empaths don't realize the superpower that they have. You know? You guys, most of you know that I'm a soul alignment coach. So this is the nature of the work that I do, right? I work with people that are the empaths, the channelers, the psychics, the seers, to get them to understand that there is absolutely nothing wrong with them, and to clear away all of their insecurities and fears so that they can shine bright and they can do the things they were created to do. How many of you, I know there's a couple of you watching, how many of you feel like you're not living your life with purpose? or that you're too afraid to really show the world who you are. How many of you have been told you're too much, right? You're extra, you're doing too much. And I feel like, yeah, Majesty, me too. And I feel like we're so misunderstood. So tonight's talk is for you. Those of you that have been told you're too much, you're extra, you're too sensitive, you got too many emotions. Tonight's talk is for you. You know, many women who identify as empaths, or we also call them highly sensitive people, HSPs, they often feel misunderstood, overwhelmed, or even burdened by their ability to deeply feel emotions, both their own and those of others. The society we live in, guys, is not really made for the softness of our core. This society tends to value resilience. You know, we have little sayings, right? Suck it up, buttercup. Productivity, work hard, play hard, right? And emotional detachment. Oh, don't get too emotional about it. These things, this world is very, very challenging for sensitive women to navigate their experiences without feeling drained or judged. So, here are some of the things that I've been through myself as an empath and as a sensitive woman. And I think some of you might feel it too, right? Look, Mandy jumped right in. She said, I am drained. Right. And that was actually my first point, Mandy. You might be psychic, but my first point is emotional overwhelmment. Empaths absorb the emotions of those around them, and that can lead to emotional exhaustion, anxiety, and mood swings. They can, it's not just other people too, it's the world, right? Empaths can feel deeply affected by negativity in the world, even when they're not directly involved. How many of you are troubled by the news to the point where you don't even watch the news anymore? I had to stop watching the news because it was just too much, right? So this is a real thing as an empath that you're taking on the emotions of others. And oh, here's a good one. How many of you are married or have a partner who could be moody, right? And now your whole day is just messed up by somebody living in your house, whether you're a caregiver for a parent or your children or your partner, their mood is off. So guess what? Your mood is off too. And I feel like we don't give ourselves enough credit for that. The fact that we have this as a superpower. I think we judge ourselves very terribly and say, oh, this is a terrible thing. But could you imagine that? That we can actually feel the emotions of other people? That's a gift, guys. I don't know if you believe it, but it's a gift. You know, another thing as an empath that I had a really hard time doing was setting boundaries. I did not want to disappoint anyone. I did not want to come across as unkind. The worst thing for me was not being liked. I think some of you guys can relate to that, right? That was the absolute worst thing for me is not being liked. And I went above and beyond overextending myself emotionally, mentally, physically for people just so that they could like me. So crazy. What about energetic burnout? I'm pretty sure some of you guys have felt that. Being highly sensitive means constantly processing emotions, energies at a deep level. And this heightened awareness, if you don't turn it off, turn it on, if you just walk around with this heightened awareness, it can lead to chronic fatigue, stress, and an urgent need for solitude to recover. Yeah, Belinda says, me in my current situation. I believe it. I notice that a lot of women have like these kind of phantom illnesses, right? Like fibromyalgia. They don't know, the medical community doesn't know what is the cause of fibromyalgia. I could tell you, we're tired because it seems to mostly affect women. I have not yet heard of one man that has fibromyalgia. And it's like, I understand. It's we're tired, right? We're crashing out, guys. We're crashing out. And then on top of all of that, yeah, the exhaustion, the energetic burnout, and then we keep adding to our workload because we don't have proper boundaries. On top of all of that, we struggle with feeling misunderstood or isolated, right? Yes, the arthritis too. That's a good point. I mean, how many of you feel like you don't fit in? Because you get into a friend group and then you're told you're too emotional, you're too dramatic, you're too sensitive. Or you've been told that since you were a child. And now you suppress how you really feel about things just because you want to be liked, right? Yeah. Let's take a deep breath in and exhale. Don't worry, this talk gets lighter, okay? I promise you, it gets lighter. I'm just letting you know that I see you, I hear you, and not only do I see and I hear you, I feel you because I've gone through these things as well. How many of you are the black sheep of the family, right? We know our families love us, they just can't understand us, right? And on top of everything, being sensitive is really hard when we live in a world full of toxicity. I mean, toxic chemicals, toxic food, right? Toxic friendships, people that say they're your friend, but they're not really your friend. Toxic relationships, people say that they love you, but they don't really love you, right? So it's a lot. Highly sensitive people struggle with media overload, workplace stress, and really emotionally toxic environments. And this is why we have to start understanding being an empath, it is a superpower, it is a gift. And we have to start treating it as such. Tonight, I'm doing this discussion, Empowered Empaths, Navigating Sensitivity as a Strength, because this discussion is important to have right now. We need to shift the narrative from sensitivity is a weakness to I am strong because I am sensitive. Thank you, Ashley. Instead of seeing your empathic nature as a burden, you can learn to embrace your gifts and use them to your advantage. That's what I did. I went from being this emotionally out of control wackadoodle, right? To becoming the CEO of a thriving metaphysical center, writing books, speaking at various locations, whether it's a podcast or an expo or an event, right? I started to use my empath power for the good and I started to up level myself. So if I can do it, you guys can do it too. Because there's nothing special about Uma, I'll tell you that. Maybe the only thing special about Uma is that I am an empath, as are you. So, why should we talk about the empaths? What are the empaths contributing to the world? Well, did you guys know that empaths are natural healers, intuitive leaders, and sources of deep wisdom? Yeah. I mean, well, the empath that learns to set their boundaries and manage their energy, you can transform your sensitivity into a powerful asset that heals not just yourself, but others around you. Tonight's topic about being an empowered empath is important because by me bringing awareness to these challenges that highly sensitive empaths feel, you guys become empowered because you feel seen and you feel validated, right? How many of you have been listening to me just now and you're like, wow, Uma gets what I'm going through. Uma understands my exhaustion and my tiredness and my pain and my emotions, right? And sometimes you just need that. You just need one other person to feel you and to see you and to say, okay, I'm not crazy. And that's why I think tonight's talk is important. Also, I'm doing this talk tonight because we do live in a time when the world needs more compassionate, more intuitive, and spiritually aware people. We cannot stay in the shadows anymore, guys. The world is literally begging for us to come out of our shell and to help, not just ourselves, but help other people as well. This discussion tonight, I tricked you guys. I lied to you and told you it's just a talk. It is not. Truth be told, it is a revolution. This is an open call for highly sensitive people to stop shrinking yourself, to reclaim your energy, and to step into your intuitive power with confidence. The world needs you. And I'm here to give you some information to help you unlock some of that. Now, sometimes people get the word empath confused with empathy. And empathy and sensitivity are often misunderstood, especially for those who experience them deeply. So, what does it mean to truly be an empath? An empath is someone who has an extraordinary ability to sense and absorb the emotions, energies, and even physical sensations of those around them. Unlike regular empathy, it's different. Regular empathy allows someone to understand and sympathize with someone else's feelings. But as an empath, you actually feel what others are experiencing as if it were your own feelings. 98% of my empath students, I tell them all the time, when they're going through stuff and they call me, Uma, I need a session. I tell them all the time, first do a check in. Does this belong to me or does this belong to someone else? 9 out of 10 times, this belongs to someone else. They weren't even aware. And that is my tip to those of you that are struggling with your empath abilities. When you're feeling down and out and depressed and sad for no reason, because you were having a good day and then all of a sudden your energy drops, instead of taking that on, ask yourself the question, does this belong to me or someone else? Do you guys know one time I asked that question to myself and the answer I got was, you're healing the earth. And I didn't even know that. I didn't even know I could feel the pain of the earth, right? But I was. I could feel it in my bones like the earth was crying. And then I said, oh, so this is not my feelings. Most of us, we feel the feelings of our family, our friends, whoever we live with, people outside. But sometimes we can even feel the earth as well. Empaths are highly intuitive, emotionally aware, and deeply connected people to the world around them. This gift allows you to form profound connections with others, but it can also be overwhelming if you don't have the right tools to manage your energy. Remember, guys, you're not just perceiving emotions, you're taking them on. And now we look like wackadoodles out here, right? Because one day we're happy and the next day we're sad. Shoot, not even one day. 1 hour we're happy, the next hour we're mad, we're sad, right? I can't tell you how many times in my life I've been called bipolar. And I'm like, no, I just don't have a handle on my empath abilities. That's all. Now, some of you are listening to me and you're like, how do I know, Uma, if I'm an empath? You know? Ashley, thank you. Lizzie, thank you so much. How do I know that I'm an empath? Well, I got a couple of tips here for you that you could do a little checklist. You guys ready? Let's do a little checklist. And if you want, if you want to be interactive with it, put a one in the comments. If anything I say now resonates for you and it's something that you have been through or you experience, okay? Here we go. Number 1, you feel emotions deeply and instantly. Like I said before, you don't just sympathize with others, you physically and emotionally feel their pain, their joy, their sadness, their anxiety. All right, Mama Bear, Mike, Majesty. Wow, got a lot of sensitive empaths in here. All right, what about this? Number 2, you absorb the energy of people and places. You can walk into a room and immediately pick up on the mood before anyone speaks. And don't even get me started on crowded or chaotic places. Immediately you feel drained without even like staying there for like 10 minutes. Yep, I see a lot of ones for that. What about the fact that you have really strong intuition? You often just know things without logical explanation. Your gut feelings are strong and accurate. Yeah? Oh, lots of ones. And how about the fact that you are a natural healer or caregiver? People are drawn to you for advice, for comfort, for emotional support, or you feel a deep urge to help or heal others. Yep. Lizzie, Mike, Mama Bear, Ashley, Belinda. How about the fact that you need solitude to recharge, like your life depends on it? After being around people for long periods, you need alone time to process your emotions and regain your energy. I like to say it's too peoply out there when I go into my solitude, right? Yeah. It's like it's too peoply. I gotta pull back. Where's my Netflix? Where's my snacks? Right? Oh wow. Mike says I need 2 days. Or how about the fact that you're easily overstimulated? I cannot do loud noises. If my man or my kid make like a sudden, like they drop something in the house and it like reverberates and it makes a loud noise, I will be shook for 20 minutes. I promise you. So loud noises, bright lights, strong scents, or even excessive talking. I can't be around people who talk a lot. It drains me. Does that happen to you guys too? I think some in my lifetime, I think some of my best friends are people I can just kind of sit with and we don't feel the need to say anything. I just went to the spa today with my girlfriends. We do like a spa trip once a month, like a self-care day. I love these days because we sat in the media room where it was this room with all these recliners and they had this big like large screen TV in the front of the room and it was just showing underwater, like a turtle swimming in the water underwater and they had like this little, relaxation music playing and the three of us just sat there and didn't say a word and I love that. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Belinda said, I have to drive home without the radio on to be able to calm my brain down. Yes. How many of you have done that? Driven with no radio on or been in your house without the radio on, TV on, just kind of in the silence. My boyfriend is from New York, and he's so used to noise, right? And when we moved in together, it's so quiet here. And I'm like, yeah, because he always has like a TV or a podcast on, or he's just noisy, making noises or whatever. But it's interesting that I don't think it's so quiet here, but to other people, they're like, wow, it's just so quiet. Yeah. We already talked about this one. You may be an empath if you struggle with boundaries, finding it difficult to say no or separate your own emotions from those of others. I have a friend, Lizzie, who's watching me right now. She institute my boundaries for me because I am not good at instituting boundaries. So she'll kind of do that for me. And oh, how about this? As an empath, you feel a deep connection to nature and animals. Spending time in nature soothes you, and you often feel a deep understanding of animals and their emotions. I'm not really keen on the animals part, but nature, definitely, you know, definitely. But I can see a lot of you, yep, like the animals part. I mean, I think like empaths with the dogs, dogs seem to be the animal of empaths, I feel. Also, you are highly affected by the media. I know we said we don't watch the news, but it's not just the news. Like I can't watch shows like The Real Housewives anymore. I used to watch Real Housewives and then pick a fight with my boyfriend or my friends, you know? Anybody does that, you got to be careful what you watch because now all of a sudden that's it. That's your life now on screen, right? And lastly, another way to know that you're an empath, you're drawn to spirituality and healing practices. Yeah, Majesty said, I can't watch shows that have those reality shows. It's just too much. It's like an assault on the senses. I'm not gonna lie though, y'all. My son and I were currently watching Love and Hip Hop Miami, and I have to like be on my computer while we watch it, and he has to be on his phone while we watch it because it is so much stuff, so much toxic. I don't even know why we're watching it. I will figure this out and I will let you know. But we're still watching it. But if you're drawn to spirituality and healing practices, um, that's because it's natural to you. As an empath, you can unconsciously and subconsciously recognize unseen forces at play. So that's why you're drawn to this field. So it seems like for everybody, it's important to acknowledge that you are an empath. And your empath skills is a gift, it's not a curse. As long as you know how to manage your energy effectively. Did you know that being an empath directly ties you to unique spiritual gifts? Did you know that? And if you nurture these gifts within you, they can actually become powerful allies for you in terms of healing, guidance, and self transformation. So for example, empaths have this gift called clairsentience. This is the ability to feel energy, emotions, or even physical sensations from people, places, or spirits. Did you guys know that that was actually a skill, clairsentience? When I'm training my students, I train psychics and mediums, and we have to do like a lot of activities where we work on their clairs. And I have a bunch of different exercises for clairsentience Do you know there's people out here that can't do what you do to feel energy, emotions, or physical sensations from people? Belinda said, all I know is I see rays of colors when I wake up at night. That would be clairvoyance. Yeah. Your intuition and psychic awareness allows you to sense things before they happen or understand people on a soul level. Did you guys know that? And let's not even get into the world of the healing abilities. My goodness, empaths make the best healers. That's why some of you gravitate to the healing arts like Reiki or energy work or sound healing. You have an innate ability to channel healing energy. Now, some empaths find that they can easily sense the presence of spirits or receive messages from the other side. So they tend to go into mediumship and spirit communication, like I did. Very, very easy for me to pick up that a person's in the room and they have a message and to feel out the message. Now, here's the biggest, in my opinion, the biggest win for you if you're an empath. Your manifestation power is times 10. Because you experience emotions so intensely, you actually have a heightened ability to manifest your desires if you can align your energy with your intention. And that's where that self work comes in, right? Because a lot of empaths are so bogged down, they're so drained and exhausted or overly focused on someone or something that they don't realize I got a whole generator powerful here, power filled generator here, ready to kickstart my life, but I'm wasting it on the wrong things. Being an empath means you are deeply connected to the unseen, whether it's the emotions of others, the energy of the universe, or the wisdom of your higher self. The key to empowerment is learning to control your energy. That's what you got to do. And that's what you're working on. Tonight's discussion is about reclaiming your power, honoring your sensitivity, and using your empathic nature as the strength rather than a struggle. So let's talk about some ways you can transform your sensitivity into your strength. All right. Number one, you have to set boundaries, but more than setting boundaries, it's about setting energetic boundaries. You have to protect your energy. So there's some ways, you can look on YouTube, you can find exercises to do this, but you can protect your energy through visualization techniques, shielding, and aura cleansing. You can also set your energetic boundaries by saying things in your head when people say things to you. So let's say someone says to you, "Oh, you're never going to lose that weight." I know as an empath, you may be shy to speak up for yourself. You might be shy to tell people, you know, how you truly feel. So instead, in your head, say, well, that's not true. That's your opinion. But you can't tell me what I can and can't do. You don't know the strength of me. Have that conversation in your head. You might say, Uma, but what's it going to do? It does a lot. Because what you're doing is you're setting an energetic boundary. When we hear people say things to us and we don't say anything, what we're doing is we're kind of blindly agreeing with them. And that's how they get to take power into our lives, right? So the next time someone says something unkind to you or negative towards you, Ignore it. Respond in your head and then let it go. You can also practice grounding techniques. Now, me as an empath, I do my yoga and my meditation in the mornings. I find that doing yoga and meditation to start my day actually grounds me very, very well. I am fully centered and present for the day. So you can do that, or you can use nature, breath work, or even movement to stay centered. A lot of empaths found that by working out, dancing, um, doing yoga, really grounded them because remember, empaths are really emotional beings. So if you are so emotional, you're always on the inside, on the internal, get a little bit on the external going. Move the body. Empaths love spiritual tools. How many of you have spiritual protection tools? I'm talking about the crystals, essential oils, affirmations, amulets, right? I actually spiritualize my water. Um, when I take the water out of the fridge, I first put it in a copper water bottle, and then I'm chanting a mantra over the water to energize, spiritualize, and protect the water. And then I pour it into a glass water bottle with crystals in it. So the crystals could also energize the water before I pour it into glass water bottles in the house. Now, the funny thing about that is just my intention, right? That I am a highly sensitive being and I can only have highly sensitive things coming into my body. So that was my intention to just have highly sensitive things. What's interesting is I put the water in the fridge in these clear glass bottles, and my son and my boyfriend started drinking the water. And they know a little bit about spirituality. They're definitely evolved beings, but they're not in this spiritual world like I am. But can I tell you, my boyfriend especially, he's from Brooklyn. And as he said, he drank out of a fire hydrant, so nothing can kill him. But he even noticed a difference. He said, I don't know what you do with that water, but he's like, it's different. I feel like I have more energy. I feel more peaceful. I feel more calm. I'm using the bathroom more regularly. I'm alert, you know? And I said, yeah, I spiritualized the water. And he couldn't believe it because he didn't really, not that he didn't believe in these things, it just was hard for him to grasp. So definitely invest in your own spiritual protection for yourself. And you should take classes to strengthen your intuition because your intuition is the key to expanding your abilities as an empath. One of the things I tell my empath clients is you have to say no. And you guys got to release the guilt around having boundaries and taking care of yourself. Empaths are terrible for taking care of themselves. They will pay. I have a metaphysical wellness center, and I can't tell you how many people pay for massages for their loved ones. And I'm looking at them and thinking, you're the one that really needs the massage. All right. Those are some ways that you can start to transform your sensitive empath self into strength, power. And what I want to do now is a little meditation as we begin to end out our time together here. I want to do a little meditation with you guys. So if you can, just take a few minutes, find somewhere comfortable to sit, get comfortable, get a little blanket. You can lay down or you can sit, whatever feels right to you. You're welcome. So, we're going to do a little meditation that is designed to help empaths release their energetic overwhelmment, fortify their spiritual boundaries, and embrace their intuitive power with confidence. Once you've found a quiet space to sit in or lay down in, comfortably place your hands over your heart or rest them on your lap, whatever is comfortable to you. Close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in. And exhale slowly. Let's begin by centering our energy. Inhale deeply through your nose, feeling your belly expand, and hold for a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale slowly through your mouth, releasing any tension. Repeat this cycle 3 more times, allowing each breath to bring you deeper and deeper into relaxation. Now visualize a radiant golden light descending from above, wrapping around your entire body. This golden light is warm, protective, and infused with divine energy. With each breath, the light strengthens, forming a powerful shield around you. This shield allows in love, wisdom, and positive energy while deflecting negativity and energetic drain. Now let's release absorbed energy and emotions that don't belong to you. It is time to release them. Imagine a stream of shimmering white light flowing from the crown of your head down to your feet. This light gently washes away any stagnant or heavy energy, carrying it into the earth for transmutation. With each exhale, let go of anything that does not serve you. Whoever you see, whatever you see, don't think about it. Just release it and feel yourself becoming lighter and freer. Visualize any energetic cords attached to your aura, connecting you to the past, whether it's interactions, toxic relationships, or heavy emotions. Imagine a divine sword of pure light, cutting these cords with ease, leaving behind only love and lessons learned. Affirm silently or out loud, I release all energies that are not mine. I reclaim my power and stand fully in my own light. Now let's reprogram our energy fields with empowering affirmations. You can repeat these in your mind or out loud. I honor my sensitivity as my greatest strength. I honor my sensitivity as my greatest strength. I set boundaries with love and confidence. I set boundaries with love and confidence. I trust my intuition to guide me in all things. I trust my intuition to guide me in all things. I am protected, grounded, and divinely supported. I am protected, grounded, and divinely supported. Feel these words resonate within you, anchoring into your spirit. Slowly bring awareness back to your body, wiggling your fingers and toes. Take one final deep breath in, feeling refreshed, clear, and empowered. When you are ready, open your eyes, carrying this renewed sense of strength within you. I invite you all to share your experiences in the comments. And as we come to the close of this session, I want you to remember one thing. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. It is a profound gift. As you move through the world, remember that you are divinely protected and your energy is sacred. So, for those of you watching on YouTube, on Facebook, please don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment. If you're on Meet Me or TikTok, please feel free to let me know how you felt when we did the meditation or how you felt about the talk that we just did. All right, Her Majesty said, I felt like a tingly feeling throughout the sensation. I love that. That's the return. We say that's the return of your power, you know? Belinda said, after a tough day, this was so needed. Thank you. Wanda said, it felt so refreshing. Thank you, ladies. I want you guys to know that this is as easy as it gets, right? All you have to do is tune into your energy and remind yourself that the power is within me and I have access to this power anytime. Remember, you being an empath is not just for you to have super healing and feeling abilities, it's for you to help the world. So, do your self work, get your healing, release your burdens so that you can shine brightly and assist the rest of the light workers in their care for humanity. I think that's what it's due. All right. We are officially at the end of our show. So I'm going to open it up for comments to anyone who would like to ask questions. And YouTube, I will see you again next week for another episode of Uma Talks. Next week is March 26th. March 26th. And I have not come up with a topic yet for my next talk, but you guys are encouraged to write me. You can write me on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or even in the comments here and give me an idea of what you're looking for. And I'm happy to do an Uma Talks on that. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. And if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask now.